something to let them know you are there for them to help. And besides, there was one interesting idea that was making a poll, like to find out how you feel, like poll when they can answer how they are feeling during this or that lecture, or this or that part. And yeah, I love that idea. I will use it for sure. Then as for emotional presence, the next thing, one thing I wanted to add is that if you want your students to have good emotions, positive emotions, and to get them involved in the process, you as a teacher must feel well as well. Because not only they have problems during these online lessons, online teaching, this online life, distance life, but also we have some problems, and sometimes we are in bad mood, or we are fed up with these things, and we're just but we have to control ourselves. We have to be we have to feel good, because they, you know, they see that, they feel our mood, they feel our emotions, and so we have to be like an example and role model. Um, so and the last thing I would like to finish my presentation, let's say, is that there was a good idea from my group member, and that maybe they are not turning on their cameras. We can't see them, but we have to bear in mind, and we have to remember that behind each photo we can see, or behind that black poster, it might be a story. We do not know what's happening there, and we have to be attentive and able to understand more and more. So I don't think I'm done, and if I have missed anything, maybe my group members are able to add. Thank you.
No, you can also, Ia said everything we discussed. The only thing is that I'll just wrap up if I can. So what we, main things, first of all, know your students, or be attentive when you get a new group or you start working with your students. The second thing, be honest. So be honest, I mean, if student asks something and you don't know, just say that you don't know at the moment, and okay, we will just look up the word in the dictionary together, and we will find it out in the internet. Let's Google it together. Then, you talked a lot about creating safe environment, and it helps very much. One very important thing, be accessible and resourceful. So these are, again, the things that our students expect from us, and we have to offer them all this. So that's just very briefly.
Great suggestions. I think, unfortunately, we'll get back to this one we discuss later on, all of us. But I think we need to move on to the third group. And who is your spokesperson? Room 3.
Unfortunately, Manua had some urgent matters. He had to leave, and that's why the group decided that today's spokesman should be I. So I will try to be as short as possible, because time is money. So yes, we need to be short. So, you know, today we had a very big discussion, and so we were excited, all of us, as usual, and we tried to share our experience a lot. And we spoke about different aspects. Mainly, we touched upon psychological aspect. When we speak about emotional presence, we spoke about cultural aspect, and we discussed that in our groups, like in all countries, we can meet students with different psychology. I mean, we have students who suffer from different complexes. Some of them feel that complex of superiority, as if they are the best, they know everything. It is also difficult to handle with them, and students who suffer from complexes of inferiority. I mean, even when they are asked to come and stand in front of the auditorium, it's a big psychological barrier for them. That is, our task is to find solution to this problem. That is, to find ways how to handle with these problems. Usually, and we, you know, we discussed a lot, we shared our experience, and we suggested different ways. For example, I told my colleagues that when the matter comes to oral presentation or oral checking, I always try to keep silence when my students speak, because I have this bad experience from my student years when we were interrupted all the time, and we, at the end, we lost the idea of the sense what we were speaking about. So, and this is very important when the teaching environment is sound and it is warm. That is, our students feel comfort and they feel some kind of, you know, self-confidence. It is very important. And for this, we need to show that we have equality among our students. Whenever our students feel that they are equal in the group, in this case, we can come to the process of feeling self-confidence, yes, and of course, being on the same wavelength with the rest of the group. We spoke about cultural aspect, and we discussed that, of course, there is a big difference between what groups do you teach. I mean, if we speak about international courses, it is double responsibility, because so people come from different religions, political views, I don't know, gender orientation, and you need to be as accurate and careful about your behavior, about your views, everything that can touch upon their feelings. And it's one thing to study local students, because especially when we speak about, for example, second form, yes, third form, you know, they know you, and you need to be always interesting for them. Otherwise, if they lose interest in your subject, so you have nothing to do in this auditorium and you may quit with teaching. It's not yours anymore. So, and you know, we had a big discussion about how it is when we are trainees and how it is when we are trainers. And we spoke a lot about the experience that we had when we first met our PRINTeL group, and what expectations we had, how we felt, and we came to the conclusion that all our participants at the beginning of any training feel kind of stress, embarrassment, frustration. But when you see that the devil is not so black as it is painted, so you feel safe and sound, and you continue feeling very comfortable, and at the end you become one of the members of this big family. So this is absolutely important. And thanks a lot for my colleagues for this warm and sound discussion. So I got a lot of experience from these 3 days discussions. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Anna. We thought we talked about having a break. We need to break somewhere. My suggestion is that we take a short break now, and then we have group 1 and 4, because I think some of us need to smoke, some of us need to have more coffee, some need some technical break. But in my now in Central European time is 11:54. Well, let's meet 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever that is your time. I'm so confused about timing, but see you in 6 minutes. Okay.